Hello and welcome to Craftiest Maximus, tag Craftiest Maximus. I believe that's the name of the map. It's got some pretty funny things all over it. A really crazy one. That's a Napalm versus Chosen. Of course, two players are involved in the Immortal Cup, but this is just a friendly. Actually, no, it is a ranked game. Napalm, still with YouTube stars, they're yet to play their game in the Immortal Cup this week. Hopefully, they get a victory. They already had a victory last week. Unfortunately, Chosen's team, they lost 2 already, so they're effectively out. Chosen and laneless, but they played extremely well. Chosen actually winning a great game, the one he played 1v1. So here we got Selines and Scouts moving to the middle. So first, I want to say a couple things. So really good news, Swackle has been making great commentaries lately. If people haven't seen his channel, it's really a shame. You gotta go check it out. Hopefully he also does some Immortal Cup games. I mean, he's got really good resolution. He obviously knows what he's talking about, and he's also pretty good at commenting. So people should definitely leave him a message, give suggestions, subscribe, all those good things. And then what else I want to say? Of course, TJ should be coming up with a really good. There was a really great battle. I don't want to ruin for anybody in the Immortal Cup, and TJ's getting that out. People should check out his channel as well. Here, first real attack of Celine trying to sneak by a mech marine. Napalm able to defend with the forces. Celine here are blocking a mask extractor as well. Of course, this map is so crazy. There's mask extractors in the water. There's a little island, so navy is important. Of course, multiple choke points, some hills. We'll see how these players decide to play it out. I think it was something else. So yeah, of course, just wanted to encourage people to promote this game on forums and things like that, since it isn't really advertised except by people talking about it. There's a lot of forums, game forums, if you know people. Especially it'd be nice to see people who were really good at some game and were part of a community, and then realized this was much better, or not much better, but they still enjoy this. If they would go back and let people know that this exists. Because that seems to be the biggest problem. People have no clue that this exists, which is just mind-boggling, but it's a fact of life. Alright, so we see a massive land spam plan by Napalm. He's got a single air factory making bombers, a couple NGs on power, and then just expansion. Not too much navy yet. We actually don't see any engineers in the water from Napalm. Chosen does have a couple NGs in the water. Actually, it's going to be a significant amount of mass. We do see air control from Napalm. He did do some good bombing. It looks like the ACU for Chosen moving to the bottom, while the ACU for Napalm moving to the top. So the ACUs are going to be completely across from each other. Although if Napalm gets this land spam going, it's going to be pretty dangerous for Chosen. Chosen having some trouble getting factories. Still getting bombed. This air domination has been a really big pain for Chosen. Some nice radar, however, for Chosen. Needs to get a little more build capacity in this position. It's going to be a while till this base becomes anything, and it looks like Napalm's interceptors are able to spot that, but well placed on that air. Takes out a bomber. First Navy. Got a Tech 1 naval factory making engineers now for Napalm. He's going to try to populate these mask extractors on the bottom. But that's one big difference now with Chosen, extra 7 mask extractors that he has in the water. Also, we can see here Napalm taking the sides and neglecting to kill a tank that already has 3 kills. He just let that tank live. Needs to get some factories in the top corner. We see Napalm here cutting things off. He's going to try to cut the map in half, and now we see first major land force moving in toward toward Chosen's base from Napalm. He definitely has numbers, and that's the problem of not having enough units, not having enough factories at your own main base. We see some mech marines here as well, taking out mask extractors. Drops being raided by Napalm. Being good at transports on this map, obviously really important. Another naval factory from Napalm. I'm surprised he doesn't get a land factory here. He needs to get some engineers in this position. Also, in case I guess we didn't notice, this was expected. That engineer didn't finish the factory, which is a huge loss for Chosen. And now we see multiple tanks in different positions from Napalm, but it looks like a pretty large force for Chosen moving down to the ACU, and actually the ACU is moving in the direction of Napalm's base, and that's going to take a pretty large force to stop, because there are some support units for the ACU from Chosen. Napalm meanwhile continues to push toward Chosen's base, and actually looks like Chosen pulling back some units to try to defend, which he should be able to do. See some artillery trying to shoot over the mountains, taking out anti-air and massive structures. So it's really the massive structures in the water that are completely feeding Chosen's economy. He's having major losses at the main base. He's also done a really good job populating this bottom corner. Napalm just not getting some factories, but he does have engineers, and if Chosen loses all these naval mass extractors, he might be in a bit of trouble. Also, Napalm using an engineer to populate a whole bunch of mass extractors. It'd be nice to get some anti-air and factories on these as well. And actually Chosen in the water killing engineers. We see multiple forces, an aggressive force from Chosen. He's going to most likely meet Napalm's ACU. Actually, it's going to turn a corner. Good scouting though from Napalm this entire game. There's also a force from Napalm that moved in. He's going to try to cut off Chosen's bottom base from the main base. They don't see any point defense here, so all these factories are pretty vulnerable. However, Chosen is looking directly at Napalm's base. Napalm does have a massive production here, however, but he really has to control his units. Try to make the best of it. Looks like some success here from Napalm. Takes out a Hydro, a couple of mass extractors, and still numbers are very close. But you got a micro, you can't just stand still. And that was the problem. And looks like one tank gets in from Chosen, but will be reclaimed by some NGs. Good work from Napalm. Some interesting things here. A secret base from Chosen that should be found out. There's a Hydra here and a factory from Chosen, and that's one thing we got to pay attention. Napalm's sitting on a whole bunch of Tech 1 factories. Actually is making submarines and beginning to take over the naval aspect of the game. However, the land map completely cut in half vertically. Some sneaky tanks from Chosen. Yet another assault, not very organized from Napalm, but looks like superior numbers from Napalm. See a couple of those units from Chosen get surrounded, and Chosen really in danger of losing this bottom expansion. Gunships, stick to gunships for Chosen. Napalm's ACU 6 kills is not going to get hit by a bunch of air. He's got to react quickly to this. He's got to get onto air, like these engineers. Got to get some flak, or he's got to get some interceptors. Where are the interceptors? He doesn't have a Tech 2 factory, Tech 2 power, but not enough interceptors. Napalm quickly losing health on the ACU. Engineers need to switch to flak. Oh, actually spamming Tech 1 flak. That might be good as well, but you really need a lot of Tech 1 mobile flak. And this can't be the end of the game, because that would just be too terrible. 13 minutes here, but total air domination for Chosen. Remember early on, Napalm did have air control. Napalm running for the water. This is a straight shot to the water, but it looks like the gunships have been successfully targeted. Napalm did spam a whole bunch of flak in this area. He's got 15 Tech 1 flak, but barely survives 3,000 health, so nice try from Chosen. On the bottom, Chosen's ACU is going to try to take over the bottom corner again. There was some really nice attacks from Napalm. Napalm now with a huge land force, a lot of flak here as well, pushing directly toward Chosen's base. On the bottom, once again, is this really big land factory spam here. We got 9 factories, 10 factories, producing all these land units for Napalm. He's able to win almost every single battle, but here, once again, maybe a little too disorganized. Going in with a single column, you don't want to do that. Might give a chance to Chosen, although it still seems like numbers for Napalm. Napalm moving, looking to go through the middle. Perhaps this force can retreat and wait for another force to come in through the middle, and then come in with a one unified force. Of course, the bottom here is still in trouble. And Tech 2 gunships for Napalm. These are secret gunships. This is why this is such a great map. Tech 2 transports as well, so something is planned for Chosen. Looks like a floating arty drop. Those are always good. But in the water, all these Tech 1 submarines for Napalm, he's got total control over the water. It's going to be impossible for... okay, so this Tech 2 transport is going to be successful, but gets shot. See how successful these RDR. There's a Tech 2 point defense here. I was able to hit at least some of them, and most likely kill off the rest. I see Chosen now beginning to lose parts of his main base. He does have Tech 2 land, maybe a couple more engineers to get those Ilshevas out. He is getting Tech 2 point defenses, and the Ilshevas could absolutely turn a game. This type of land battle, a few Ilshevas together with the Tech 1 would be absolutely devastating. It looks like another successful drop from Chosen. So Chosen in a bit of trouble, but really fighting back. And this is a really good drop. Hydro is lost. A couple of factories are going to be lost. Napalm walking back to clean up. Still, well, now about 10,000 health. It's going to be a lot of reclaim here for Chosen. If Chosen can get a base going in this position once again, they're really nice land scouts, so Napalm will know if something bad happens. And good placement on a Tech 2 point defense. It's going to cover any units coming out of any of these choke points, which might mean Napalm really has got to switch up the strategy. Of course, if Napalm in this position has an even land fight, just grabs all the mass extractors in the water on all the islands, he's going to have a huge advantage on eco, which it seems like he already does. And we did see those Tech 2 gunships. What happened to those? Chosen must have lost them to these interceptors. I totally missed that part. And yet another push from Napalm into Chosen's Tech 2 point defenses. Chosen with Tech 2 power, and of course with all this mass he's going to reclaim, he's going to have a pretty decent eco. With Tech 2 land, Napalm will have to be very careful. Of course Tech 2 gunships, more Tech 2 power. Haven't seen any cruise missiles yet, which might be a little surprising, but we just might see that. We do see TMD now going up for Chosen. EF of course with terrible TMD. Might be a good idea for Chosen to carry a couple missiles. And Tech 2 Navy now for Napalm. Surprisingly a destroyer. I would love to see a couple cruisers take care of any of those torpedo bombers trying to kill the Tech 1 subs. Of course reach anywhere on this map. Of course also good anti-air and TMD and good radar. But destroyers are pretty nice too. Of course their shots will get blocked by a lot of these mountains. Although it looks like if a destroyer got here in the back, the Chosen's base would be completely exposed. So this could be almost a game ender for Napalm. Napalm having more success here on the bottom instead of attacking the main base. Going to the bottom corner here, we got another group of Tech 2 gunships. Very surprised that Hydra has still not been captured by Napalm. And now an air fight. And Chosen gets himself a shield. It's perhaps not a good place to have an air fight for Napalm. He does have numbers, but one Tech 2 flak would really put an end to his air force. And this destroyer a bit disappointing. He's got to move where he doesn't hit the mountains. So far Napalm really dominated, and here come the gunships. Of course Tech 2 flak are gonna force them away. 4 mass extractors with all these subs standing by are really inexcusable from Napalm. Napalm now coming in with some cruise missiles as well as a cruiser. Now it's got 1 kill. Chosen really getting picked apart, but a really great map. Really nice to see this in the ranked. Gunships from Napalm going after the Tech 1 air factory, but flak taking care of him. Of course this destroyer now with 13 kills. Artillery coming out for Chosen try to hit it, but Napalm moves out of the way. Also this cruiser already with 8 kills. Cleaning up, more cruisers coming out for Napalm. So Chosen in survival mode. He really has to go for a snipe, some sort of snipe, but that's going to be very difficult. Maybe take all of his units and just march his way to Napalm and hope he doesn't make it to the water. That would also be dangerous, of course, for Chosen. He's getting some upgrade, not really sure what it is. But losing Navy on this map is a very difficult thing to come back from. We do see a Navy, secret Navy here from Chosen. It's a really big uphill battle. So far though, Tech 2 for Chosen, keeping him in the game. These Tech to point defenses, massive amounts of kills. Also TMD here. And going Tech 3 land. So Chosen has a plan with Tech 3 land, and now the Ilshevas and his forces really getting success in these land battles. Chosen with a gun upgrade. He might actually have Tech 3. He's got Tech 2 and the gun. It's a pretty decent ACU. More power for Chosen. Chosen really cleans up, and Chosen having massive success. The Ilsheva is running everything over. 31 kill Ilsheva. Now going to meet some Tech 2 from Napalm. Napalm a bit out of position, it seems. Chosen trying to get power to get his shields back. And now the Ilsheva is unprotected against air and now running into Tech to point defense. Really great fighters here. But now will be thrown away. Maybe about 200 kills on these if you added all of them up. Did a great job, but that was really the last force from Chosen that could do anything. Chosen is now down to the basic units. Chosen asking for energy. Of course, Napalm. I'm sure Napalm enjoyed this one much more than Chosen. It's always great to get a win against somebody like Chosen. But it appears he's absolutely stalling right now. He's at plus 40, trying to use about 700. And that's not working out for him. So that's the position where you have no eco, no power, you can't do anything. Gunships moving in. Chosen 34 kills. Still be hard to kill. We got the Navy coming in, trying to probably get some shots. You see the cruise missiles. Think of the end of Chosen 1 after Napalm's ACU. Napalm now safely in the water. Maybe he could have done something. Now he's gonna walk in that direction. Still got one factory, some engineers. Now some Tech 3 bombers. And Chosen a little after 30 minutes is defeated by Napalm. Hopefully people enjoyed this one. Definitely check out Swakkel's channel. You can find all the Supcom channels on the right side of this channel's main page.